Welcome to this quick total body cool down that includes all of my favorite stretches and releases for after you've had a great workout or when you're just needing a little bit of movement to clear some stagnation. Maybe you're taking a quick break in the middle of your day, or you want some gentle stretching before bed. Maybe you are like me, you've just finished a high intensity workout and you need to just cool it down a little bit. This is a practice for just that. So we'll come to the center of the mat here. We'll just take it nice and easy. Step your right foot forward. Lower your back knee all the way down to the mat. Find this nice low lunge here. At the beginning, shoulders floating directly over the hips. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Press down through the back shin and start to move the front shin a bit forward until you feel some space, some length in the left hip flexor. Notice if your front ribs are flaring, can you draw them towards the hip points and then create space across the heart. Let your right hand find your right hip, stretch your left arm up and over to the right. So this nice horizontal plane in the upper body here. So create an anchor point in the left shin and then stretch, radiate out. Come back up through center, both arms reach. Let your left hand touch down, right arm spins open. Imagine a gentle touch pressing your palm away. The hips stay square. Then you can broaden across the heart. Find rotation all the way into the upper back. Right hand comes down, slide the hips back, straighten the right leg any amount for runner's stretch. Lift the toes, press through the right heel, energize your right leg. So creating engagement in the right quad can signal the body to release the hamstring. Soften the heart, the upper body towards the earth. And then slowly roll forward, let your back knee lift, come into a lunge. We'll come to the long edge of the mat, just a moment in a wide-legged forward bend. So if you're still in that cooling mode, your heart rate's still a bit elevated, you might keep your head level with the hips and heart. If you're ready for it, you can fold all the way. And then we'll turn now over the left foot, let your back knee come down. Slowly rise in that nice low lunge once again. Both arms reach up. And then begin to sink the hips down without collapsing in the pelvic floor, so there's still some buoyancy there. Left shin moves forward, right shin anchors back behind you. Without flaring the low ribs, keep them integrated, and then expand into the chest and heart. Left hand finds the left hip, right arm stretches up and over. Find that deep awakening in the psoas, the hip flexor. Come back up through center, both arms reach. The right hand touches down, left arm twists open. Again, rotating into the upper back. Imagine that palm pressing your heart open. Letting the left hand come down, slide the hips back for a runner's stretch. So lift the left toes, square the hips, press the left heel down, and energetically drag it back towards the left sitting bone. Feel that length across the back of the leg, and as you integrate, engage the left quadricep, the front of the thigh. That signals your body that it's okay to let go. Come back through center. This time take your left knee back to meet your right. We'll thread the needle here, open your right arm out to the side, and twist under, bringing right ear to the mat. Finding rotation now. Opening the back of the shoulders, the heart. Let the hips stay lifting and square. So you really have to create that key action in the hips to move the rotation into the upper back. Open the right arm again. We'll switch sides. So the spine tends to take the path of least resistance. So it wants to, in the case of rotation, it wants to twist where it's easiest. That tends to be in the low back or the cervical spine. So how can you create stability, create an anchor in the low spine so that you can rotate into the upper back, the hard to reach zones of the spine. Come back through center. And release the left hand down, coming into puppy pose now, so the hips stay directly over the knees. Walk your hands out long in front of you and melt the heart towards the floor. Taking care not to collapse into the elbows. Sometimes it can help to press finger pads and lift the heels of the hands so that the arms are strong. And then can you lift the hips up and back even further now? Option here to bring chin to the mat, if that doesn't create too much strain in your shoulders or your neck. Then from here, sliding onto the belly, finding Sphinx Pose. Forearms down in front of you, elbows under the shoulders, hips are anchored, tops of the legs are pressing down. Drag your forearms back toward your hips, and you might take some neck circles here. Really releasing the shoulders. And then from here, and take one arm out, we'll roll onto the back, closing with a few supine stretches here. Cross your right ankle over left knee. Hug the shape of your legs into your body. So a few options here. You might just take the foot and the knee. You might reach for the back of your left thigh. You might even reach for your left shin. Wherever you are, can you use either your right hand or your right elbow to dial the right knee open? You might find a gentle sway side to side, particularly if you came from a high intensity movement practice where you had lots of movement. It can be hard to drop right into stillness, so just honor your body's need to move if it's there. Last big breath here. And we'll switch sides. So taking left ankle over right knee, same options available here. Always acknowledging any differences that you experience from one side to the other. And these stretches in today's cool down are among my favorites. You'll find them in almost every cool down practice. Just a way to give a bit of recovery, a bit of release for the whole body. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep the right knee drawing into your body. Cross it over to the left, spinal twist. Our last nice stretch here. Maybe gaze to the right. Let this be a passive twist. So if you feel any gripping in the groin or the low back, can you release it here? As you give the weight of your leg to gravity, can you let the shoulders be heavy to create some counterbalance there? Create a bit of tone in your low belly as you come out to support your spine as you switch sides, left knee to chest. Send that leg over to the right, gaze to the left. Maybe feel the upper corners of your mouth lift into a smile. And just offer up any gratitude you feel for creating movement, for moving energy throughout the body, especially anything that's feeling stuck. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of breath, a bit of motion to clear the way, to get back in the flow. Come back through center here. We'll enjoy a minute or two of rest. So whatever that looks like for you, maybe your legs are stretching out long, maybe the knees are in together, feet wide. Find your comfortable position, and once you're there, let your hands land on your body, maybe a hand to heart, a hand to belly. Maybe rest your hands on your forehead, wherever it feels most supportive, most nurturing. As you rest in this transition space for a few moments, can you increase the distance between thoughts? As a thought arises, Simply notice it. Maybe you follow it for a moment until it dissolves. Our thoughts have a hard time withstanding scrutiny, so as you observe them, they lose a bit of their power. We allow ourselves to rest in the present instead. So as always, I encourage you to stay here as long as you can, as long as you need, and as long as you like. I'm just creating some intention as you prepare to continue the rest of your day, transition from this space of self-care, of moving inward to perhaps being with the people you care about, being back out in the world. How is it that you want to show up there? You can bring some movement back into the body, maybe knees to chest, rocking side to side. And either staying in your resting pose a bit longer or maybe journeying with me back up to a seat. So just again, giving yourself a few moments in pause to acknowledge where you are, to acknowledge anything your body might be trying to tell you. And I'll take this opportunity to thank you so much for showing up, for moving with me today, and for being a part of this collective of women who move by the moon.